Hello, my name is Scott for SB Gaming, and welcome back to Transport Fever European Freeplay Edition. And in the last two episodes, we spent some time in Dovercourt across the river in order to set up both passenger travel as well as cargo distribution. We also set up an oil line, so we now have 3 of those coming from over here, bringing the oil into Dovercourt and then trucking it up to here. I spent some more time off screen connecting up Godalming, actually. I was going to get to Gainsborough, but Godalming is pretty close. We have a construction material plant here, which we are going to supply the steel, or rather the slag, from here down to here. It may not necessarily produce a whole ton, depending on the demand for steel, which is only 368 at the moment. So yeah, about that. We do have stone in here, so we might as well truck the stone up into Godalming and then bring it into the construction materials plant. With that said, what I'll probably just do is run it directly into here, which means that this might have to be expanded, or rather we are just going to do something a little bit different. We want to run this across. Yep. And like that. We are going to want to come on this side. Yep. Connect that there. Like that. And now. And this is nice flat open area. Compared to over across there where it's just hills and hills and hills. This is a nice flat open area where we can do lots of nice building. Alright, so we got that connected up. Now, am I able to put this here to... No. So I'm going to have to put it over here. Alright, about that, although... Actually, we'll put this here. We have nothing waiting, we have no lines set up, and we are going to need a truck station over here, and we are going to throw that, ouch, right about there. That is connected. So we are going to go from there down to here. We are going to want this into a truck station I placed right about there. That is going to be... I am considering using this as Godalming's major freight station and just trucking it in, much like I've done over there at Southgate. We are going to name this, for now, RF Godalming Transfer. We are going to color that, and then this is going to be colored that. This is going to be RF Godalming Stone. There we go. And now we are going to want to connect up the rail line. And we have currently 4.5 million. Let's borrow 1 million because we're most likely going to need it. So it's not that bad of a hill, actually. And we are going to need to connect up to there. Although, we're going to come on the flat. Yep. Bring it across, and we're just going to we're going to do a tunnel. Now, we're going to want to come around like this. That is to go there. And we are going to borrow another $1 million. Or do we go around and try to save money? What do you mean save money? Although, over here, I would like to bring this out on the flat. And that is on the left side. It is 195K. Actually, what speed was that? Oh yeah, that's good enough. We are going to double track, maybe. Let's borrow another $1 million. $168K. Alright, about that. We're going to turn on signals. And so we are going to want signal there. Alright, so that has been signaled up. It has been one-way signaled at the station entrances. And yeah, that's fine. Now, where is our freight trains at the moment? This one is heading towards Carlton Colville. Oh. It is running dry. This has no potential. Actually, it has 5 potential. Yeah, but this is 176 production, 158 stored, so, Well, about that. So what we are going to obviously do is we are going to extend the line. And that is, of course, the concern with ramping up the capacity of your trains. If you run out of materials, you end up running empty. And yeah, so for the last 2 years, or the year and a half or so, we've been basically losing money on this line, which is rather unfortunate. When it comes to our income, yeah, but that we dropped in 1887. I'm curious, how are we doing over here? We just have a lot of livestock. And over here we got fuel, plastics. Over here we got machines and tools. We do have 3 trains on the line. And we got oil and fuel. Let's just let things run. Yep, that's running loaded until let's put a couple more on the Dovercourt oil and fuel. I think I may have already put 2 on the line. So that might be a little bit imbalanced, although with that said, we are going to put another 2 on the local route. So we're going to hop over to here. So now we are transporting the slag here, or will be, once the detects demand. So what we are going to want to do is we are going to want to put truck depot, horse cart on RF Godalming transfer. And with this, we are going to want this to basically, yep. Apparently we have some crazy birds outside. They're just cawing away. It's actually really distracting. Anyway, we are going to set this up. Godalming stone. Come on, birds, shut up. Alright, yep. And actually, vehicles, set that to unlimited. And I did set this to unlimited as well. Yes, I did. So we are going to want to pay attention to these. Actually, yeah, that is unlimited. What we are going to do is we are going to put that on screen. We are going to put that on screen. Put the depot over there. We are going to put this on screen down here. We are going to put this on screen. And we're just going to let things run. It is May 12th. And I'm going to be curious when we are going to get Slag showing up, because that would be, of course, nice. Now, we did extend the line, so this will see potential for both. And we have pretty good coverage here. Take a look at this. All the industrial, with the exception of that, some commercial there. So that is that. What I would like to also do is run a line from here up to Gainsborough. I built a truck station here which covers most of the town. So that is that. And we have demand for 232 slag. We have demand. Oh, we have 11 of this showing up. That is nice. Godalming stone. This is seeing line usage no. That is seeing line usage no. Keep production high. And yeah, as soon as our... Although, with that said, the slag from here should have easily seen demand. Although, with that said, actually we were, I think, pretty sure. Yeah, if anything over there. So that is that. But that will, of course, deliver this over here. We are seeing demand for 56 units. It may take a little bit of time for that and that to see demand. This needs to produce a bit, so obviously it's going to be demanding slag or stone. It's just going to probably take a little bit of time. Let's repay some of our loan. And let's kick off with this line. And we are going to just contour lines on, so I pretty much want to go like that. And we want to come right into there. Oh, end of the month. And we are seeing demand for 492 construction materials. This is producing. And once we get some money, well, let's just borrow. Seriously. No! Please, why? Yeah, about that. Seriously? No. Don't. Yeah. When the game does it, it's because you kind of did something like this. So it thinks you want to come out that direction. Well, that is just stupid. Regardless. And let's repay. Yeah, $7 million loan. We are going to... no, not that. Buy a horse cart. And we are going to set this to a new line from here over to here. This is going to be orange, and this is going to be RF Gainsborough con map. This may also be a 1F or a something F line. So what we are going to want to do on this line here, we are going to set this to full load with a unlimited, and we're just going to throw that there. Now we are going to want to buy up some horse carts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Godalming stone. Let's let that run. And we're going to buy another one, Godalming stone. And we have 3 units. Oh, end of the month. Let's buy another one. Godalming stone. 6 units sitting there. Let's buy another one. $19 coal sitting at the steel mill. Or not coal. Slag. That's pulling 20 units of iron ore. There's lots of iron ore sitting here. And what we might want to do is possibly put another train on the line because we killed the frequency on this line. 19 units sitting there. And this train, 20 capacity. Do I want to? That is the question. Prussian with 5 of these, or yeah, 5 of these, which would be 4 of these would be about $500. 625 plus 388. Not that. 388. About $1 million, I think. If we get the money required by the end of the month, possibly not. We possibly could have. We'll let that run. Now, 11 stone sitting here. We have... that truck is sitting there. Let's buy another 2 horse carts for Godalming stone. So let's buy a third. And what I would like to do is come back here, and we got a ton of crude oil. Let's buy a couple horse carts and Dovercourt oil and fuel. We want that frequency ticking up. And this leaves with 38. That's not that bad. And we have 9 units sitting here. This frequency is fine. And we have construction materials sitting here. 10 units. Let's buy 2 horse carts and put it on the Gainsborough Conmat line. Over here we have 11 units of stone. Truck there. Let's buy 2 more horse carts, Godalming stone. Very close to being able to buy another one. 600K. Let's repay down to $6.5 million in loans. And picked up some slag. Nice. And 12 units of Conmat. Let's put another 2 on the Gainsborough Conmat line. Let's put another truck on the Godalming transfer. And this is rolling in with 20 slag. We have 12 stone here, but we have a bunch of trucks returning. So that line should be good. We have 788 demand for construction materials. So one thing we might want to think about doing to completely ramp up the demand for construction materials and to feed construction materials back in this way via our ship line, Westmalling to Dovercourt. All we would need to do is connect this up with this. And fuel, on top of that, fuel will be able to come here, come into Godalming as well as Gainsborough. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to build a road, and we are just going to repay. The key to long-term success in this game is to find those kind of connections where you have production somewhere, you have production elsewhere, and then you just simply connect up your production. And the best thing about trucks is the fact that they can carry anything, and so I just have to set up a line. I don't have to worry about what trucks I'm using. They can just pretty much carry anything. truck station. This should be within range of... Yep. Although I am going to need to put it over here if I want this to be within range of that, which will send stuff up to Gainsborough. We are going to connect this into here, and I'm going to buy a truck depot, I think right here. We're going to buy a road depot horse cart from here over to here, and it is January 1st, 1889. This is going to be RF Godalming to Dovercourt. Now, in addition, what we can do is connect this right up into Kirkby, making this a very potentially profitable truck line. And once I have the goods flowing, I have things kicked off, then we can set up rail. But I did want to get some production here. And this actually works out quite well. We have the steel line, or not the steel line, the slag line coming in here. And we can then just, actually, no, there's not really any construction materials over here. No, about that. So, at this point in time, I was considering hooking this up to here, and that could supply coal into the there as well. Although this might overpower this, cause this to back up, which mean that this would be imbalanced. Plus, we are trying to ship coal from here, so we're not going to do that. That would be optimal. So, yeah, about that. Where else would I like to connect up over here? We do have 2 steel mills here. So if we wanted to, we could bring this coal down here. We could bring the iron ore down here. We could even just connect this up to here. Connect this up to Dovercourt, this up to Kirkby, and just let things flow. Bring this iron ore into Dovercourt, which would be a possible option. Yeah. Right now, we have some demand. We don't have any iron ore. About that. Alright, about this. So, we have 5 and 2 people waiting there. 4, 9, and 5. We have 13 people in the from docks. What is the frequency of that ship line? 13-minute frequency. Okay. Well, seriously. Why is the ship doing that? Oh, that's an epic fail. If I ever saw one. Graze to from. You know what? Go to Terminal 6. And Terminal... Yeah, Terminal 2. But seriously, in there! That has to reduce the frequency. 13 minutes, maybe. Speed it up. So that is in there. For this line, grazed from, there are 2 ships on the line. The other ship is right here. And there are 14 people that want to go to from. All right about that. How is our Westmoreland freight line rolling? Fairly decent profit-wise, although we had a spike up in... Yeah, that's right. We increased the capacity of our train, added another train. 20 and 15. We have $1.8 million in the bank. Let's repay. $4 million left in loans. How is this rolling? 6,000 demand for tools, 5,900 demand for machines. We got 57 units of plastics, 104 potential for plastics, and 364 potential for steel. Now the question is, you're dropping off some steel. You are dropping off steel. Good. You're dropping plastics off. You are... Alright, so we do have steel. One thing I was considering doing was running a dedicated steel train from here into this station, so we get more direct access to steel, and then running the steel train onwards over here to Southgate, or rather down here to this machine factory, which I'm considering setting up as well. And then from there, bringing it across over to here so that we can pick up construction materials. Also, with that said, we do have a machine factory here, which we can then... Actually, yeah, machine factory, there to there, cross here, over to here, drop off steel, maybe even drop off steel here. And then we pick up construction materials that we deliver into here and bring them back this way to be dropped off here and possibly here. But that's going to take some amount of money. For those who know what the train is like over here, it's not as nice as over here. Anyway, we got a ton of construction materials. Godalming transfer. We are going to throw a bunch of trucks onto the Godalming transfer line. And that we're just going to run, just load if available. And there is fuel showing up there. And we have 12 units here, so we are going to buy a couple road vehicles for the Godalming to Dovercourt. And we're actually going to color this that color. Actually, that color. So that'll pick up those. We're just gonna... Yep, okay, never mind. It wasn't a load if available. And we have fuel sitting here, so yep, that's gonna be nice. This is going to demand even more crude oil, which is just going to encourage the production. Horse cart, we are going to buy a bunch for the Dovercourt oil and fuel. With the quantities that we are seeing there, it's looking all good. The last ship had 25 units. And actually, this is picking up 35. So we are in a pretty good position. $1.6 million in the bank. Let's repay down to $2 million. It is the middle of April 1889. 3 units sitting there. This is actually pretty good. Now, how's the steel mill doing? It's not seeing any demand for steel. Really? That's the thing. We got a lot of stuff accumulating here. No upgrades or downgrades scheduled. Where is our train? We have a train there. Let's turn off those icons. Actually, turn that one on. So this is heading back to Upton. This one's coming into here. This one is going to... Alright, so what I'm going to want to do then is I'm going to buy another train. And majority of the freight is going off in that direction. We're going to buy the Class 53 Prussian. We're going to borrow, and we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, and 3. Set line TFM Westmoreland to Grays. Although with that said, I am considering, especially with the quantity. You know what? That's what we're going to do. TFM Westmoreland to Grays. You are now Grays Freight. We're going to come up to here, and then we are going to come back to here. And what I would like to do is force this into actually Grays Freight. If we can, Terminal 1. Yep, alright. Terminal 2. Terminal 4. Yep. And now that will increase the frequency. 6-minute frequency, not bad. Let's let that roll. Now when we check this, most of this freight is heading towards there, but that's just because, yeah, most was heading towards that destination. Or that's that particular stop, actually. Alright, that train is going there. What I would like to do is put another train on the line. Although this train is coming in. That train is up there. And we are going to buy Class 53 Prussian. We're going to go 5 of those. We're going to go 3 of these. And we are going to go Westmoreland to Grays. Let's repay. And the frequency on the line is 5 minutes. We're making $1.23 million in profit on the line. Oh, end of the month. And we are starting to see a chunk of fuel being shifted over to here. You should just get going. We have trucks queuing. Let's add a few more on the Grays Harbor line. It'll be nice when the DMG CanStat comes available. At this point though, what I'm going to probably do is take a break here. And, oh, what did you do? Seriously? Yes. And yes. Alright, I think I know what happened there. Good thing I caught it though. And we have all our trains piling up in here. And we are going to want to have some crossovers and signals. One right there. Yep, let's do that. Fortunately, we're kind of limited with the capacity on our tank wagons. The industries don't care how much capacity we actually have. They just see the ability to transport it, or rather the cargo sees the ability to transport it that way, and so it does. Now, over here, we got lots of goods showing up. Got machines. Wow, yep. Let's buy another couple horse wagons for the LF line. And we are doing quite well on this. Repay, we're down to $1.5 million in loans. You gotta spend money to make money. And I'm considering... maybe when the PLM 220 shows up. Because that is coming up within the next couple years, I'm pretty sure. That is, I think, a 60K locomotive. What are we running on the Grays to Dunwich line? Prussians with 2 wagons. How are we doing over here at Southgate? 12 and 13. This is dropping off. It got to about 7 people, so it dropped off 9. Yep, about that. And 22 and 26. 19 people. Let's... add one more Bavarian car. We're going to do replace now. Yes. And I'm going to buy another Class 53 Prussian. And we are going to buy 3 Bavarian cars. And the Grays to Dunwich line. We're going to repay. And what I would like to do is make sure that this goes to Dunwich first. Although with that said, yeah, about that. This was probably not the best place to buy it. Oh, well, there are 7 people waiting there. That's fine. That brings that up to 24 capacity. And at this point in time, I'm going to definitely take a break here. It is very hard to step away. You kind of want to keep playing. Really, we only have... Okay, I thought I had 3. I was planning to, so we are going to replace now. Borrow. Yes. And on that line, we have 4 trains. What is the frequency on our 2 passenger lines? 6 minutes and 4 minutes. We might not actually need another train on the line. Anyway, I am going to stop here, and we will continue off with more Transport Fever European Freeplay Edition in the next episode. We have, over in Godalming and Gainsborough, we got some resources being produced. We have a way to get construction materials back down through Dovercourt and West Malling, which of course will just feed through the rest of the network. Those will really ramp up production. But I think in the next coming episodes, I might want to run the West Malling to Dunwich steel line, possibly a coal gondola line, bringing slag also from the steel mill all the way out to the construction materials plant. So that will be coming up in the near future. We have a bunch of lines set up. We've connected up to Dovercourt. We're expanding our ship fleet. I will have to get to Oakham next, sometime in the near future. I will get to Ludger's Hall. I know I've had a comment about that island, and I do want to get to it, but there are a few other things I want to get to as well. So I think I am definitely going to do the West Malling to Dunwich, both the steel as well as the gondola lines. Those are going to be rather lengthy. They are going to require extensive construction because I'm not going to necessarily be reusing most of my existing lines for a number of reasons. So that's entirely new construction. We may also want to set up the not until we get to Chorleywood. I was thinking the West Malling to Southgate express train, but so far I don't think we really need it, and I only want to run that when we have much higher speed engines, maybe in the 1900s when we get something like the A35, the Flying Scotsman, things like that. Anyway, at this point in time, I'd like to say thank you for joining me for this episode of Transport Fever European Freeplay Edition. Thank you for watching. My name is Scott Frisbee Gaming, and as always, have a good day.